Hey guys, Ben here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Arrowverse and its potential ending. And by all accounts, it looks like it's actually going to be ending next year. So we're going to be going through this breaking news article from Deadline that's going to be linked in the description below. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so this whole article is all about the CW and their plan. So it seems the new people over at the CW, obviously they've been taken over by Nexstar, we've talked about this a lot, have no brains. They keep on coming out with stupid articles basically saying we're all about profit and we're gonna make profit, but we're gonna do stupid cuts. And so this is literally what they're doing in this article. It's so dumb. I don't know why the Nexstar CEO even came out with this article, because as the title suggests, and this is the title, the CW to shed Warner Brothers, Discovery and Paramount content in 2023 to 2024 season. Former owners not precluded from selling us programming if it's a deal that, quote, we like. So we're going to go into this article and talk about why this is ridiculous and why this actually kind of spells the end of the Arrowverse. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this and I'll explain everything to you guys. So Nexstar CEO Perry Sook and execs of the nation's biggest broadcaster said its choices will be evident on the CW schedule for not this coming year, so not the 2022 to 2023 season, but the season after it, that being 2023 to 2024, and that season will be lower cost, broader appeal, and more unscripted fare and minimal content from former co-owners Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Global. So apparently by the 2023 to 2024 season, they're going to be cutting all of what they had before. That means everything that the CW was currently running. They're going to have lower cost to their original programming. They're going to have broader appeal, and they're going to have unscripted fare. And so this is exactly the same rhetoric that they've been spilling ever since they actually got a majority stake in the CW. And I really do think now more than ever with this article, it means the death of the Arrowverse, because this is them committing that, okay, not this coming season, but the next season after that, that's when all of the content is going to be cut. Probably all the shows are going to be cancelled, and at that point they're going to be like, okay, yeah, so former owners Warner Bros and Paramount, do you want to sell us any of your good original content? And they're going to be like, no, we don't want to sell your content, we're just going to release our content on HBO Max or whatever other platform they're going to be kind of going to instead. And the CW is going to be a network where there's going to be no good content on it, it's going to be all cheap, so why would Warner Brothers and Paramount even consider selling any show to the CW if they are literally making it their mission to make their network shit, to make it cheap and basically not have good quality? That's all they care about. They care about making money for a low cost. Now they're throwing away all the past shows because they don't want to spend that money. But they say, oh, you know, Warner and Paramount, oh, if you are interested, you could sell us the content for a cheap price and then we can show it. So it's just not a good deal. And so basically the CEO of Nexstar went on to say, it's just going to have to be a financial deal that we like. And there may be a couple of shows that distinguish themselves this year that we want to hold over to next year, Sook told investors at a recent earnings call. And so that's what he's saying as of right now. He's saying, if it's not a great deal for us and if we don't get exactly what we like, we're not going to buy any shows. We just want cheap content and that's it. That's literally all he's saying. And he's saying if there is a couple of shows that distinguish themselves this year, so within like the 8 remaining CW shows, which include like Superman, Lois, Gotham Knights is coming, and there's a few other shows like the Winchesters that are still around. Basically, they're probably going to pick like 2 or 3 of those shows and they're going to cancel like the 5 other ones that are still going on because they don't want that, they don't want to pay for it. And so that's literally what he's saying here. So with this in mind, yes, there is a chance that Superman, Lois and Gotham Knights say could actually continue to the next year. However, every year there's going to be the possibility that Nexstar is going to be like, okay, it didn't perform as well, so no, we're cancelling that, go away. And so it seems the Arrowverse is officially done because this is them distinguishing their avenue, and they're really making it certain that all of these past CW shows, unless they outperform and they really distinguish themselves, they're not going to be taking on any of those shows. And so then the CEO goes on to talk about their new entertainment chief, Brad Schwartz, who they have been repeatedly saying, oh, he was, one of the creators of Schitt's Creek, and it's like a really good show. And so he goes on to say, so they gave him on a much smaller budget to do the same thing and develop a show like Schitt's Creek. And his job is supposedly easy, just go find a couple more of those and we'll be in fine shape at the CW. So what they're saying is, that's exactly the direction they want to go. They want to have a show like Schitt's Creek. Maybe they want it to be popular like Schitt's Creek and win loads of awards, but that's not going to happen at the CW because that is not the network that they're trying to build now. Obviously, with the genre-related content that the CW had before, it really wasn't primed for that kind of Schitt's Creek type audience, and that Schitt's Creek type audience isn't on the CW, and the new CW that Nexstar is trying to build is not like what Schitt's Creek was, right? Their audience is going to be just random people who just turn on the TV in the middle of the day and probably don't get much viewership in the evening. So why is Schitt's Creek a thing that we're trying to get to? I get that, Brad Schwartz was involved in the show, but I don't think getting a couple of Schitt's Creeks and literally bringing them onto the CW at a low budget, probably a much lower budget, that will make the CW in fine shape. Like, I don't think he understands. They're not going to get 1 million viewers or like 2 million even, or 10 or whatever. They're not going to get anything like that on the CW. Like, okay, shows like The Flash at some point were going over 1 million and they were pretty consistent over there, and that was great. However, with a Schitt's Creek type show, you are bringing that show to an audience that you probably have lost, so like including myself and you guys who are Arrowverse fans or Riverdale fans or fans of the Vampire Diaries and stuff like that. There is no audience at the CW for a Schitt's Creek type show, and I don't think he understands that it's not going to do great numbers. Like, it's just not possible. Like, unless it gets uber popular, it's just not going to happen. So I think he is a little bit delusional, if I'm being completely honest. And so apparently that's the direction that they are headed, and they like that direction. And so their goal was to cut cost and ultimately turn a profit. But like I said, I really don't understand how making a couple of Schitt's Creek type shows is going to make them a bunch of money that they think they're going to make. I think if they capitalize on the Arrowverse, they could eventually make that money. If they want to, yes, get Warner Brothers involved, because obviously they own the IP to the Arrowverse and DC characters, and then they sell the shows to them, yes, that could be popular because, it could be on the CW, and maybe if they own some sort of stake in those productions, they're able to release it via Netflix and make like $1 million or whatever it is that they sell a whole season of a show for. But for now, they're just getting people in place. They are firing lots of people that previously worked at the CW. And so he says, we'll be making more money with an hour of news at 10 than an hour of network programming. So that pretty much says all that they're going for. Just profit, profit, profit. They don't care about the content. They would rather show news programming than original scripted content. So, I mean, it's just stupid. Like, I really don't understand what they're doing. They think they can turn it into like a news network, but then at some point of the day, they can play like a Schitt's Creek type show. It just makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And they're just throwing everything that they bought. Like, why in the first place did Nexstar come and buy the CW, take on all of its debts? Why not create your own network? Why not create the Nexstar network and make money off of that and don't start off with debt? It makes no sense. I know Nexstar had a lot of the affiliates and the local stations that the CW was showing on previously, but they don't have all that debt. So I really don't understand what they're doing and why they're trying to completely do a 360 and revamp CW into a version of Fox News or a version of CNN or something like that, just with a couple of cheap kind of sitcoms on their channel. Like, I don't know. So now let's just kind of go off of my rant. I apologize that this has been a ranty video. Let's go back and backtrack to the Arrowverse. Now, what does this mean? Okay, so as I said previously, I think this means if they don't like how the ratings go for this season with Superman and Lois and I mean, it doesn't matter for The Flash anymore since this is the final season of The Flash. Luckily, The Flash is getting out early. Superman and Lois is not in a good spot, although it's the highest performing show on the network right now as far as I know. Nexstar doesn't care about that, and if it doesn't do what they want to do, and by all accounts they probably want it to do like 10 million views or something when it's running on, you know, around 1 million and below. So if they don't make any money off of it, or it's not viable for them, they're probably going to cut it. And so with that in mind, would anyone else take on Superman and Lois? I feel like it's a no-brainer to take on Superman and Lois, just considering how popular it is. It's Superman, and this show isn't ready to be cancelled, or it isn't ready to end. Like, it's literally in its infancy. We're going on to season 3 of Superman and Lois, and it's such a beloved show. It's got a huge following online, on social media, and also it does good ratings for the CW. So I really see it being as like a possible option for it to get picked up elsewhere if that does eventually happen. So yeah, I think before Nexstar, the Superman and Lois show would have gone on for like 9-10 seasons, about the same as Arrow or The Flash, because it's just such a great show and it's great content. Like, it's really well made and it does good numbers. But with all things considered, it's probably going to get cancelled by Nexstar, say next year. And so same thing goes for Gotham Knights. I really don't see Gotham Knights going for much longer than one season. It's pretty much at this point just going to be a limited series. Like, just aim for one season, and if you get one season, good on them. But I really don't see Nexstar picking that up for another season. And I think at this point we can kind of presume Justice U pretty much is not going to happen on the CW. So is the Arrowverse going to find another home? I would love it to, but honestly, I'm not optimistic right now. And I don't know if HBO Max would take on all of these shows. I think there's a chance they would take on Superman and Lois, but Gotham Knights, again, I don't see it going anywhere. And also Justice U, I don't think HBO is going to be that interested in a show that in its title isn't like a big IP name. And so that's why Superman and Lois has a leg up, I would say. And even Gotham Knights, because it's Gotham and it's Batman, and HBO Max is producing some Gotham related stuff. Like, they have a spin-off of the Batman coming to HBO Max some point in the next few years. So that could be good, or it could either prohibit Gotham Knights from being picked up by HBO Max. But yeah, for now, things don't seem very good, and I'm very sorry that I have to make this video. I never wanted to make this video, honestly. Like, I'm the biggest Arrowverse fan. This is why I created this channel, and I just wanted to put it out there that if the Arrowverse does end next year, I will continue to make DC content, and I will try and expand my content beyond just DCTV or the DCEU. I will try and make any content that you want. So for now, if you did enjoy this video, and if you have enjoyed Arrowverse videos for the last 5+ years, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. And for now, click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.